So how far can Romney actually go to keep Huawei on a blacklist over the president's objections?
Well, Congress does have tools at its disposal, but historically, Congress hasn't really had an appetite to go after the president or rein in his powers, even those powers on trade. Now, this amendment would lay out some conditions to remove Huawei from a blacklist, but it remains to be seen if he'll be joined by other members in this effort, or if the House would even go along with it. Now, other senators have been critical on President Trump over his handling of Huawei, because at the same time that he's described them as a national security threat, he has raised the prospect of including them in any trade deal. Whether this is the moment they confront him over the issue, that remains to be seen.
Well, we have had a tweet in the past hour from President Trump. Let's take a look at it. He's congratulating Mexican President López Obrador for ratifying the USMCA today and saying that it is time for Congress to do the same in the US. So why hasn't Congress ratified the USMCA yet?
Well, several Democrats in the House have said that they have concerns over the agreement, and they want to see changes negotiated with the White House on certain key areas, like drug pricing, enforcement mechanisms, the environment, and labor. They formed working groups to engage the administration. The White House has called for a vote before August, saying that clearly the votes are there in the House to pass this. The Democrats have kind of played down that timeline, saying that it doesn't need to happen by August without shutting the door on that timeline. But Robert Lighthizer, testifying before Congress, said that he is willing to engage the Democrats and potentially some kind of agreement could still be reached. So whether a vote is coming imminently remains to be seen, but the two sides do appear to be engaging each other on Democrats' concerns.
Well, and here's another factor to look at. Silicon Valley is heading back to Washington. Officials from Facebook, Twitter, Alphabet are set to testify next week. What's this going to be all about?
Well, Congress has, this is part of a broader trend in Congress with their concerns over these large tech giants. Now, this particular hearing will be over concerns about terrorist content on the social media platforms. Officials from Twitter, Google, Facebook are set to testify. The lawmakers have concerns over their ability to self-moderate their own content, not just with terrorist-related content, but also misinformation. But again, it's part of a broader trend of lawmaker concern over everything from privacy to the sheer size of these tech giants. And the hearings could prove to be quite interesting and indicative of what could come in the future.